Hey, good morning. Good early morning. Chris Foltz here, and I'm posting this video in response to mainly response to some folks that I served in the court with. Some folks that I have a great amount of respect for. It's just some things we don't see eye to eye on, and I'm a big boy. I can handle that. It doesn't change my opinion about things, and I'll explain myself here in a second. But the main thing I want to say is the dialogue. I do appreciate the dialogue because a lot of the things that I see that I see as wrongdoing. I see as a lot of things that are based on race. I see a lot of heinous things that occur, involving the justice system, involving law enforcement, involving the media, involving a ton of other things. That I think is completely wrong and unfair, and a lot of times it's based on a person's race or the color of their skin. That may be tough for folks to accept. That may be a bit hard to swallow, especially for those who can't relate to it, or those that aren't on the short end of that stick. In other words, they don't fit the demographic that's negatively affected by some of these practices or some of these social norms. So Matthew Twombly, Chris Taylor, Kyle Crook, and a few other folks, they know who they are. People I served in the court with, whether I was led by them or whether I led them or whatever. All brothers of mine, until the day I die. They Marines just like I am. Whether they served, for a few years and got out and went on to other things, or whether they served for 20 years like I did or more. But the thing I want to clear up, a lot of y'all, some of the folks I mentioned, a lot of y'all are taking what I say and what I post as being discriminatory or being hate-based or taking it as bigotry, when all I'm doing is calling out the bigotry and the discriminatory actions and the disparate treatment and things like that. So me calling those things out, according to your rationale, makes me a bigot. Doesn't make very much sense. You know me, okay? You know me, you serve with me, I've had the uniform off for just a hair shy of 3 years. You knew me when I was in the uniform. You know me now. Nothing's changed. I'm still the same old Chris Foltz. I'd say that I'm probably wiser. I'd say that, a few things like that. But, no racial bigotry here. I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't socialized that way. Now, Chris Taylor, you mentioned something in your post about me being an EEO practitioner, which I am. I'm actually a EEO complaints manager, GS-13, working in the federal government. And in my profession, I'll just put it like this. I am an expert at locating and sensing out and identifying racism and discrimination and things like that. And all of those things that I mentioned in my post, that's all it is. That's all I'm doing. So I'm not saying, going out there saying, I hate people who are not black like I am, or this, that, and the other, or such and such, or white people should do this, that, and the other. No. What I'm saying, I'm just pointing out the atrocities and pointing out the things that are levied upon people that look like me that are unfair. The senseless murdering of unarmed black people. And things like that, and I understand, trust me, I understand the use of deadly force. You know that, just like I know you understand it. I understand, I have a real good friend of mine who's a detective, white guy. We're tight. We went to high school together. We played football together, and he's a police detective. And like I mentioned in one of my posts, he enlightened me on quite a few things that are cultural norms in law enforcement in regards to black people. And a lot of things that if you would hear, you'd be beside yourself. You'd really be beside yourself. that I was perturbed by hearing it. And I'm telling you, that Van Dyke, Darren Wilson, the cop that, like I said, choked that guy in New York, the cop that shot that guy that was running, going the opposite direction and shot him in the back, just so happened a bystander happened and recorded on his phone, because he was saying, I'm turning my steering wheel, so forgive me. He was saying that, he was in fear for his life. He was defending himself, but the guy was running the opposite direction. So I don't know how he was posing a threat. All those cops were following those unwritten rules to a T. And the thing is, and this disheartening thing is, when a cop does that, it is damn hard to prove that the cop did wrong. All the cop has to do is lie or plant something or do whatever, which a number of them do, and they get away with it. And I'm not just talking about the murders. I'm talking about the way they handle black people or the way they deal with black people. It's completely different. The main thing about sniffing out discrimination or discriminatory behavior is what you call, if you're familiar with the law, it's called prima facie. In other words, taking two people of different demographics, put them in similar situations. So you have two people of different demographics that are similarly situated, and see if they're treated the same. And that's where the problem lies. They're not. You can take a white person that's treated a certain way, that's in a situation. You could take a black person that's in the same situation, similar situation. And the thing, and what this history and what this social norms and the trends tell us, it tells us that black person will be treated vastly different in a negative way than that white person will be treated by law enforcement. Then when it comes time for litigation in the courts of law, that black person will be handled differently by the justice system in a negative way than that white person would. That is fact. You may not want to accept it. That's your whatever. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But what I'm saying is not opinion. It's fact. And what I'm saying, is the way I feel about it, and I'm entitled to it. So is no hate towards you, gentlemen. Like I said, Matthew Twomley, Chris Taylor, Brian Gilstrap, my man Hallman, Andy Hallman out there. What's up, brother? Haven't heard from you in a while. He sent me a message too. But I'm explaining that to all of y'all. Brian Lehman, I'm explaining that, to all you guys, man. It's no hate or anything towards y'all. Y'all know me better than that. But it seems as if there's the way that people that look like me are handled, the way people that look like me are portrayed in the media, the way people that look like me say, some white guys are breaking the house and murder or this, that, and the other, or do something. They don't even put their mug shots up. They just put up, had them in their college uniform, say 3 college wrestlers were charged with this, and let black folks do the same thing, that have their mug shots and this, and calling them every thug and everything under there. Which if you do something like that, in my opinion, you are a thug. But guess what? If you're white and you do something that egregious, you're just as much of a thug as if you did it and you look like me. But the media doesn't portray things that way. And I can go on and on. There's a million other examples I can give. So yes, my profession as an EEO profession, that's what I do. I am an expert at looking at, recognizing, and identifying differential treatment or disparate treatment based on demographics. That's what I do for a living. I get paid 6 figures to do it. And I'm quite good at it. I'm an expert at it. So when I'm saying that something's discriminatory, chances are, whether you want to accept it or not, 99.9% of the time, it probably is. Discrimination and bigotry is alive and well in 2015, getting ready to transition into 2016. It's a shame, but it's the absolute truth. And me saying that that's alive and well doesn't make me a bigot. All it does is I'm being, I can expect some kickback. I expect feedback and kickback. And I appreciate y'all chiming in. and having dialogue about it, because most people won't even talk about it. So I do appreciate that. But me identifying that doesn't make me a bigot. Me identifying that just makes me unpopular, because guess what? I'm challenging the status quo. And what I'm saying goes against what's accepted as the social norm. That's never easy. So, hey, hope everyone out there is doing well. It's pretty daggone early in the morning, man. You know, that's why I got my lights on in my car so y'all can kind of see my face, but it's still dark. But hey fellas, hey devil dogs, hey gents, hope all is going well for y'all. And hey, hit me up sometime. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Folks out.